Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mila, the Hangry Woman, and I have this YouTube channel where I talk about diabetes related things. Today we're talking about nausea, and nausea specifically that comes from taking medications. I myself have been on 2 medications that have made me extremely nauseous, one being Ozempic, the other being Metformin. Both of these medications, while super helpful for blood sugar reduction and kind of like getting your blood sugars into those stable ranges, made me extremely sick. Throwing up, I couldn't, like, if I smelled something that like smelled too much, I just wanted to throw up. Like stomach gurgles, feeling like really just like nauseous. So I thought I would share some tips for getting rid of nausea, and most of them are like natural ways to do it. I'll also leave down below a few articles that have information about getting rid of nausea. Hopefully it's super helpful to you, but yeah, it's like something that I hate dealing with, but that comes with the territory of some of the medications we take for diabetes. And I think of it and I'm already like, it makes me feel sick. Just thinking about feeling sick makes me feel sick. Okay, so before we get started, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I love meeting new people with diabetes and learning more about what other people are doing to get their blood sugars in range. And I hope you like it here. I hope you meet somebody and find somebody who is going through the same thing that you are. I often find that with diabetes, we just don't talk about it that much. I talk about it a lot actually because I have this channel and my blog, but most people don't like talking about it because of just like the stigma and the judgment that comes from it. I totally understand, and I wanted to create like a non-judgmental space where people felt like they could ask questions and they could also just know that they weren't alone. So if you like all those things, it's a long-winded way to say subscribe to my channel. And if you don't, then the door is over there. Ginger is the first kind of like food that I like to use when I'm nauseous. I will juice some ginger or grind up some ginger in my blender and then puree it. So I just get the juice, and then I'll mix that with some water, a lot of water actually, because it's like very strong and very spicy. Sometimes I'll just smell it, and kind of the smell of ginger is really common. Other times if my stomach is upset, I'll drink it as kind of like a tea, like I'll warm it up a little bit and I'll sip out on it throughout the day, and that tends to help me feel a little less nauseous. You could also, if you're not too concerned about blood sugar, they do make like ginger chews or ginger candy. That's like something you could suck on throughout the day, and that kind of like helps to relieve that nauseous feeling. So I love ginger for that, and I think that it works really well, and it's a pretty natural remedy. So if you're having like the actual ginger root and you're juicing that or drinking that as a liquid, you really don't have to worry about blood sugar spikes with like specifically the ginger root. So that's always good because you don't want to spike your blood sugar and be nauseous. Peppermint is another relief. I love using peppermint, either again, like sucking on a peppermint or chewing on a peppermint, or having like the smell, either peppermint essential oils or a candle or something like that. Peppermint tends to also kind of relieve that nauseous feeling and just make you feel a little bit better. I also find that peppermint is really calming. So if you need that kind of like calm energy, peppermint is a really great, peppermint is great for that. Peppermint tea even works for nausea. Just that like scent of peppermint for me tends to, I think, help a lot. Citrusy smells also help with nausea. So cutting up a lemon or a lime, you can drink like lemon juice diluted with water. You can have lemon essential oils, again, like sprayed around you. That lemon scent really does help to reduce nausea. And I drink lemon water all the time, just in general, just because I like the taste of it. So it's been a good remedy for me. I think it's something that tends to work really well. Some other things that work: try to avoid strong smells whenever you're nauseous. That tends to make it worse. So you want to, I think the smells that I talked about are good ones: peppermint, citrus, lavender, all of that is really good for nausea, but you want to avoid any other smells that might trigger that feeling of being nauseous. Some other things I do when I have nausea: I tend to lay down if I can. So just lay down. I lay on my side. I try not to lay on my stomach because that seems to feel like it makes it worse. And I just kind of take some deep breaths in and out, just like nice cleansing breaths that make me feel a little bit better. I think when you kind of concentrate on your breathing and concentrate on that like feeling better instead of feeling nauseous, that tends to help. And laying down just helps to put you in like a stable position, so you're not like moving around a lot, or you're not like getting up, which also kind of makes you feel dizzy and enhances and increases that nauseous feeling. So try to like get some rest, lay down, sit down, like be as still as possible, and that tends to help as well. I know with Ozempic, one of the things that made me nauseous is I was still trying to eat past my fullness capacity. So the way Ozempic works is that it slows the digestion of your food into your stomach so that the glucose in that food doesn't hit your bloodstream as fast. It helps to keep your blood sugar level steady and stable. But when that happens, you get full really, really fast. Like I'm talking 2 bites fast. So when I was taking it, I would take 2 bites. I would like physically feel full, but I was like, I have to eat more. There's more on my plate. I can't waste it. I can't like put it away. I need to have it. And so I would eat past that feeling of fullness, and that would make me extremely nauseous because the food was digesting so slowly into my stomach that it was just kind of like sitting there, and it made me feel really gross. So I think that's one thing to also be mindful of, like stop when you feel full, even if that's after a couple sips of water, even if that's after like a few bites of food. You want to stop there, because if you keep going past that point, like past that point of fullness, it's going to make you feel nauseous later because it's taking so long for that food to digest. So be very careful about that, and just consider like, okay, here's where I am. Here's where I'm going to stop. That's it. That's all for me. And you can always go back and take a few more bites later on, but it really helps if you recognize that feeling of fullness and then you stop when that like immediate moment that you know you feel full, so that you don't get super nauseous, like even worse than you were. All right, that's all the tips that I have for this. I'm curious about what your remedies for feeling nauseous or being nauseous are. Leave them in the comments down below. I just talked about the ones that helped me out, and that did help me out when I had that nauseous feeling from some of my medication. It's not that way for me as much anymore. I get like the randomness of like random bouts of nausea, but for the most part, I feel pretty good now that I've been on a lot of my medications steadily for a few months. So that's it. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And like I said, be sure to subscribe, leave your comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.